What's up, Lego builders? Welcome back to Coconut Brick Studios for episode 3 of building the UCS Acclamator. So this week I am going to be kind of tinkering with a few things and adjusting a few things. Now that I've got the frame in place as well as kind of the upper plates, I need to figure out, am I still on the right track? Because when mock building, especially vehicles, you don't have a step-by-step process of where you're going. You basically have to build, look at the reference material, look at what you're trying to build, and see, like, do they correlate? Do they look similar? If not, you have to redo things. And so that'll probably be happening a lot throughout this build series. And I'm kind of at one of those stages where I've got, like, a lot of the frame done, and so now it's time to, like, readjust. I'm also going to be tackling the underside. I haven't really done anything down there. I want to get the frame really strong and figure out before I move on to the rest of the build, because I don't want to have a weak frame underneath all of this. So I think I'm going to be going in with a lot of Technic pieces and just making sure everything is connected by one big skeleton. Right now, it's kind of in two halves. The front half's connected really well, and then the back half's connected really well, but I don't feel like they're connected to each other, and the build tends to sag a little bit kind of in that middle area. So I'm going to be shoring up that area as well. All in all, should be a pretty exciting week. Time to get started. All right, guys, here's what's going down this week. I took off all the plates, took everything off, and before I figure out how I'm going to, connect them and make them strong, I'm going to reinforce this entire frame with Technic rods. I think what I'm going to do is flip it over, and then I am going to run a series of pins along the middle and then out each side and then all the way up to here, basically connecting everything in one Technic frame. And then I'm going to have some crossbars running from a box over here down to right here, basically connecting everything that's Technic into one large skeleton. I think the problem with this current frame is it's too brick built, and so not everything is connected, not everything's solid. There's a lot of weight being pushed down on these break points right here on this plate, and I want to alleviate that and transfer it to much stronger Technic connections. This could take me a while. We'll see how much I actually get done, but when I have more to show you guys, I'm going to check back in with another update. All right, guys, I am back in with another update. You can see I made a ton of progress since the last time you saw the ship. I added this slope here on the bottom. You can see on the bottom of the Acclamator ship, it's flat all along the edges. So it's not like the Venator where both the top side and the bottom side are the same kind of like wedge shape. The bottom of the Acclamator is flat until you get to the center of the ship, and then it angles up and then hits this slant right here in the middle. So you kind of get like the reverse effect of the top on the bottom, except for the sides being flat. So you can see I've just thrown down a lot of plate right now, and I'm going to make all of this flat. And then once all of that's finished, I'll start going in with wedge plates, kind of like this, and make a slope coming down this way with some plate kind of here on the top running down that direction. So this is part of the frame that I said I was going to be working on, and this made the ship a lot stronger. You can see I can pick it up, I can shake it, I can move it around, just because everything is all connected on this Technic frame. From the top, comes over here, you can see this is where the bottom comes in, and then comes out here and fans up here to this section, connected. And then I put these Technic rods on here on the back because this section of the plate was so long, it was getting kind of flimsy, but I ran those rods across each side, and that actually made it so you can't really bend or shake these as much. I may be adding more of those in the future, we'll see, because it's pretty effective. Up here on the top, you can see I added some more Technic beams. They're just beams all over the place, trying to make this as strong as possible. That way it can hold its own weight a lot better. This is kind of what it looks like from the top side. You can see just a lot of black plate on the inside. I'm just kind of building one little section at a time and trying to figure out how to hook pieces, connect pieces together, and all that good stuff. I did lengthen this back part a little. I think it was last time you guys saw it, it only went to here. I added another 6 studs. I'm thinking this back part may even be too long. We'll see once I finish. I may have to take this last section off and bring it back to here, or maybe add 4. We'll see. Only time will tell, but that wraps up everything I wanted to show you guys for now. I'm very happy with the progress. This ship is really starting to come along. I'm going to keep working along the bottom. The reason I decided to start working on the exterior already is because it's kind of hard to build the frame without knowing what the exterior is going to look like. So I kind of have to do both simultaneously so that they can work in tandem and coexist together. And so we're slowly going to be seeing progress just creep backwards, and then probably this section back here will be the last. All right, I'm back. You can see I've been doing more work on the underside here. Pretty much everything is plated off, except for this little chunk over here. I'm missing some wedge plates. They should be coming in an order. And then got a little piece over there I need to fix, but it's pretty much done. What I have been working on now is kind of tiling off this underside. There's a kind of large slope on the bottom, and really I think it's just there because it's, showing part of the interior. So I just decided to tile it off, really nothing fancy. This is going to be the landing gear right here. So this will fold in like that when it's flying, and then when it's in landing position, it'll be out like this. I honestly have no idea what this is going to look like yet, but I had to stick something in here as I was building because it'll be really tough to come back later and put something in here. So I just needed some kind of starter piece, and then I figured, later on down the line, I could come back and put in actual landing gear. So with most of the bottom done, I need to figure out now what's going to be going on the side here as well as what's going to be going on in the back. And I did start working on the front side. So I made this kind of wedge panel. It looks pretty similar to what's on top, just kind of like a smaller version. And I think what I'm going to do is just have it sit right here like this. Probably something like this, and then, I'll just have it run off this way and then keep going back off in this direction. I really need to figure out what's going on back here, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to focus on the parts that I do know what's happening. So this might be what this looks like. We'll see. And as I'm sitting here looking at this, I'm realizing I'm probably going to have to tile this off if I tile this off. If I do that, though, I think that might make these side panels taller than this middle panel. So I may experiment with tiling everything off or taking the tiles off here and having nothing tiled. We'll see. Basically just waiting on parts right now because I want to do that similar ball joint system that I did on the top side for this bottom part right here. That way I can get this wedge plate to sit right here at an angle, as well as kind of curving in that direction. Didn't have any of those, so I'm making an order as well. So as you can kind of see, my parts have dried up for now. So I think this is where I will be wrapping up things for this week. However, I have had some interesting things to think about. So I got sent some reference material for Acclamator. And the Acclamator looks really cool. However, it made me realize I think I might need to go wider with mine. I feel like it's still too narrow, and I don't like how long this back part is. So I think what I'm going to do next episode is really kind of take a good look at the frame and be like, is this what I want it to look like moving forward? Because, once I put all the panels on, build the underside, and build the top side, it's going to be much more difficult to then go back and make the whole thing wider. This is probably the best time I have to make some adjustments to the frame. So I'm going to take another look at those images and kind of figure out what I need to do going from there. So next week could hold some major changes for this entire ship. All that being said, I'm still pretty happy with the amount of progress that was made. I feel like I'm still steadily moving forward, even though it does feel like I'm taking 3 steps forward and then 2 steps back. At least there's still that continual 1 step of progress. All that being said, time to hit the outro. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's still pretty fun. I'm loving this build. I'm loving the fact that I'm building a big vehicle for the first time ever, a vehicle mock. The more I've been thinking about it, the more I think I probably do need to make this Acclamator wider, which sucks because I finally got the frame done. I got so much of it built, which means I'm gonna have to readjust everything, and who knows, it may not work. I may have to go back to what I currently have, but I figured I might as well try. I wanna make this as good as possible. It's been interesting too to see, when I started building this, I kind of had a vision or a goal for how I wanted it to look, and pretty quickly into the build I realized I'm not going to be able to achieve that just because I don't have those kinds of skills yet. But I'm excited to see what I do end up with. If you guys like this video, don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, and as always, if you have any questions about the build, comments, anything at all, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing so you won't miss out on any future content. But until next time, happy building.